Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. We filmed this on a different day, so this is not a Natasha Denona bronze palette look. I'm sorry to tell you. Mine, I'm wearing bronze, but I'm also wearing some other stuff. So, but that's what the review is about. We're doing two looks on the Natasha Denona bronze palette. So if you're interested in seeing our thoughts, how they perform, all that jazz, then just keep on watching. Alrighty, so I already have my eyes primed with my ABH eye primer. Don't recommend, don't support the brand, just getting that out of the way. So I am first going to start with the shade Ridge from the palette, which is the mustard shade. And I'm going to take that on a fluffy-ish brush. And I'm going to start just on the outer corner and really fluff it on the outer corner and diffuse it. I'm going to be building most of my pigment out here and working inwards. The same technique I do in every eye look because I'm a creature of habit, so these do build really nicely upon first impression, just like every other Natasha shadow I've ever tried. Okay, and then I'm going to take a smaller, kind of fluffy-ish, like pencil brush type shade and take the shade Magma, which is another matte here, the matte reddish tone. And I'm going to do about the same thing. I'm just going to focus it a little lower and really work on building the depth out here. I'm going to wing it out slightly, but nothing too intense because I will be doing like an actual shadow wing. And then I'm going to diffuse that a little bit with that initial brush that we used. I'm going to take this little tiny brush from Unicorn Cosmetics and I'm going to go into the shade Deep Dive, which is the darkest shade in the palette. It looks like a black, it's not. It's her cream to powder formula, which I think is just fantastic. I loved the cream to powder formulas because they're really easy to blend, they're easy to build, they don't get patchy because they're creams, so they don't like not stick on top of an already set or built base, which I really love. So I'm going to take that and I'm just going to continue deepening that and wing it out a bit, and then I will go and define that wing more with a smaller brush. I love this shade. I love a good smoky corner. Before I wing that even more, I'm going to go back in with the shade Magma, just like a tap of it, just to diffuse these edges a little more. And then back in with that initial brush just to make sure everything is properly diffused. You can also go in with a matte cream shade or like a translucent powder, whatever suits your skin tone, to diffuse that even more. But now I'm going to take a little brush from Sonia Kashuk. This is the eyeliner brush, very fitting. It's like a little flat definer kind of brush. And I'm going to go back in with the shade Deep Dive and I'm going to really make that a wing, not just like a smoky shadow, an actual wing. And this is my favorite way to use her cream to powder formula. And then going back in with that tiny brush just to blend it a bit. I'm going to go in with the shade Palladium. You gotta forgive me here, I'm not a shade sayer, but it's this shimmer right here. And I'm just gonna take that on my finger. I'm going to pack that all over the lid and I am going to blow it up to the brow, which is a common technique I use in my shimmer application if you're new here. I'm going to focus it first down here and really build that. Here, and pat upwards towards the brow. And you don't have like I don't love it like a cut crease moment all the time. I like a really diffused kind of shimmer look. So with a Luxie 239 brush, I'm going to go in with the shade Rhodium, which basically sold me on the entire palette, this little cool tone moment here. And I'm going to place this right in this region. I'm going to put it over top of the wing a bit, and I am going to blow it over top of that other shimmer we have and really blend it like everywhere. It's this really gorgeous, messy shimmer moment. I love this style. You guys know. And then, no, we're not done yet. I'm going to take the shade True Bronze, which is a nice little topper shade. It's like a sheer sparkle kind of thing. So I'm going to take a little bit of that on my finger and I'm just going to pat it over that inner portion to give it a little extra like oomph, you know, a little zam, a little sparkle. We're good. Okay, so I'm gonna clean up my fallout with a little wipe. I know people said the cream to powder formula doesn't have fallout. That's a damn lie. It does. Or I guess if you use it the way that I use it in its most functional form, it does. So I like to do my eyes first. And then, why am I still talking, you dumb idiot? Everything is cleaned up. I'm going to add a different inner corner highlight. This palette is a little deeper than I want for the inner corner highlight today anyway. It'll be a good, at least on my skin tone, like a good grungy sort of corner moment, but I'm not feeling that right now. So I'm just going to take the highlight in the Sculpt and Glow palette, which I'm afraid maybe getting discontinued, so pray for me because mine is getting close to gone. And I'm just going to pop that on the inner corner and bring it up a little just to lighten that area a smidge. Okay, so I'm going to do my base. Oh, God. Alright, so I'm gonna go do my base and mascara, and I won't do mascara. I'm gonna do my base, and then I'll be back for the lower lash line in 1 second. Alrighty, we are back. Base is done. I'm looking a little orange because my camera is killing me. Please. Alright. Maybe I am orange. Maybe I oranged myself. Anyway, I'm not going to do a ton for the lower lash line. I'm going to go into the shade Deep Dive on that little brush again. I did add a little bit of the NYX Faux Black Liner in Onyx into my waterline because I think it'll pull the cool tones really well. So I'm just going to smudge this one. Ow. I'm orange again. I'm watching you. Anyway, putting that shade down here as close to the lash line as possible and bringing it pretty far in. The shade True Copper, which is the copper shade up here, just on my pinky, and I'm orange again. You know what? You're just gonna have to deal with it. I'm gonna pop that down here for, oh my god, what is happening? I'm gonna go do my mascara, then I'll be back, hopefully less pumpkin-y. We'll see. We might just be rocking the Donald Trump vibe today, so I don't know what to tell you. Alright, so I did end up adding like a little cat eye moment. Don't know how I feel about that with the deepest shade in there. I should have filmed it, but I forgot to because I got carried away. But yeah, this is the first completed look with the bronze palette. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and we will move on to look number dos. Alright, so we're gonna do my eye look here. I haven't, done my base or anything, but here's kind of the vibe we've got going on. I did this a while ago, then I got caught up at work, so we'll just probably use some different brushes, honestly. Alright, this is a more asterisk E brush because we don't believe in them anymore. First I'm going to go into the shade Suntan right here. I love that. That's like the perfect name for this shade. I think it's such a cute name for these. I really like the names in these palettes, honestly. But I'm doing a halo eye, so we're just gonna pat that right in here. And then we're also going to pat it on the outer corner. Just slowly start to blend that just a little bit. I'm gonna go in with this little double-sided Eco Tools brush. It's the Smudge and Blend brush, I believe. I'm gonna go into the shade Ridge. Right? Ridge, yes. It's like a, camel kind of brown, yellow. I don't know. Natasha has these in a lot of her palettes, so I don't think this shade's anything special, but I do love these shades, so it works out alright, and I think it's perfect for bronze. But I'm just going to throw that on top. I'm just going to kind of mush it all together, honestly. Then just wipe the brush off on my pants a little bit and take the shade Beach, which is like the lightest matte, like right here. It's like a peachy kind of shade. And I'm just going to throw that on top as well to blend it a little bit more. And then just go back in with the shade Suntan and re-intensify the inner and outer corner. And I will say, I know a lot of people might get on Natasha about her palettes not looking like they would work for deeper skin tones, but the shades translate much darker on the eyes than they do in the pan, and they like pretty much all of her mattes do that. So If you're not sure if it'll work on you because you have a deeper skin tone, just bear that in mind. It might. I honestly don't know for sure, but it may. So if you want to test it out, I don't think it's a bad idea to do so. An unnamed brush. I think fluffy brushes work much better for shimmers, like fluffy dense brushes. And I'm going to go in first with the shade True Bronze right here, which calls to me. It's more of a topper shade. It's not fully opaque like a lot of the other shimmers in here, but I'm just going to pack that onto the center of my eyelid. So this one might take you a little bit to build up, or you can use a finger. It's really just on your preference, based on your preference. I'm so dumb. But these are my favorite of her shades because they're so dimensional. They're so good at like topping other colors. So just know it's not going to be fully opaque. It's just very glittery. And then I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Silk, which is probably my favorite shade in the palette based on, you know, me using it. I'm just going to take it on my claw, my ring finger, and pat it in the center. It is like this very, it's definitely bronze, but it's a little bit less warm than a lot of the other shimmers. And I just think it has so much dimension to it. I think it's like the prettiest shimmer here. TBH. I'm going to take the shade Gloaming. Okay, it's like a deep shimmer right here. And I'm going to put that a little bit on my inner and outer corner just to kind of blend the halo. I can't remember what shade I used. Did I use Gloaming? No, I think I used Palladium or whatever. Vic used this shade, I think. We're gonna do that one, and if that one doesn't work, we'll use some Gloaming. So then we're just going to pat it on the outer portion of the halo eye. Just to add a little bit more dimension. I'm just gonna go in with a little bit of the shade Gloaming anyway, because I just can't tell what I used. And we're going to take the brush that we use suntan on. We're not putting on any additional product. And just blend right in the inner and outer corner again. Using like a darker shimmer to diffuse things. That's the way that I really like to create all shimmer looks, where they look like there's no mattes. There's just a ton of shimmer. I like mattes just to add that base color, but you can do it with all shimmers. It's just not as intense. And then I'm going to take this little MORP *E brush again, and the shade Deep Dive, which is the cream to powder deep matte. Right there, her cream to powder formula is the best. It is elite. I would like a full palette of her cream to powder formula. Thank you so much. And then I'm going to kind of sketch out a little wing. I think Vic did a wing too, but like you're just gonna have to deal with that. I don't know what to say. I'm just doing like a baby wing. It's not a huge one like I normally do, but I just kind of want it to be a little bit smudgier, not as precise, which I'm not very good at. I normally just do like precise wings, but you know, spicing it up. Throwing my base off camera, throwing some. Now I'm going to do my base really quick, and then we will be back for the lower lash line. I thought I was filming and I wasn't. Okay, I took the shade Suntan on a low brush and I smudged it on the inner and outer corner of my lower lash line and into the inner corner to create a grungy effect. Now I'm going to go back in with the shade Silk, which is this shimmer right here, and put it on the center of my lower lash line to give that, you know, pop effect. And then just blend it out with this, the bottom of this brush. So let's blend out the inner corner we did. Anyway, so we want this grungy. I love grungy eye looks. They are just such a treat. They're so, I don't do them very often just because they kind of, you know, close off the eyes. They're grungy. But they're just so like sexy, you know. Shade I'm gonna go in with. I think I'm gonna go back in with the shade True Bronze on the inner corner, this True Bronze right there, and kind of build it up a little bit. This is on a BH cosmetics brush from the Marble collection. It doesn't have a name anymore. So it's meant to look messy. Grungy looks are always meant to look messy. That's why they're so fun. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm going to add some mascara. Oh, actually, I'm going to take the pencil brush and use Deep Dive again and connect the wing to the lower lash line and just smoke out the entire lower lash line just right like by the waterline. And I can add like a black liner in there. If you have not experienced her cream to powder formula, I urge you to go buy her cranberry palette. It's a very small palette. It's still expensive. I think it's $45 or something for that tiny ass palette, but her cream to powder formula is unbeatable. It's incredible. Anyway, let me do some mascara. I'll add some black liner and I'll be back to show you the finished look and then the intro and outro, or just the outro. Woo! Anyway, here is the completed eye look. Yeah, I guess I don't know if this is the end of the video or if I'm the first person, but we'll go on to the next section of whatever is being edited. Alright? Thank you. Thank you so much for your time. Oh, I got a tattoo. Anyway, obviously this is not the same day. We were working that day, so
she got slammed.
Yeah, we weren't able to do an intro and outro. But, so that's what we're doing now. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you picked up the palette. I think it's freaking stunning. My favorite shades in here, the ones that sold me on the palette initially, are these two. They're so pretty. I also did a look yesterday. I didn't take a picture. I should have. Sorry, I'm sick. I just did True Bronze all over the lid and then Silk on the inner corner, and it was the most gorgeous, like, grungy, smoky bronze. There's nothing... I thought at first that the lack of really light shimmer shades might be a drawback for me, just because I like a bright inner corner highlight, but I feel like it's such a statement to have like a grungy gold inner corner kind of thing. I just think this palette is so freaking stunning. Well, and to me that makes it more versatile on other skin tones, because an inner corner highlight for me is not, well, it can be, but it's not an inner corner highlight for somebody 10 shades darker. Like, you know, it's different. So that makes it a little bit more versatile. The mattes, I love that she's got the cream to powder in there, that dark one. The dark ones for cream to powder are fantastic because they work as a beautiful liner and they don't patch up, because they don't, like other powder shadows will need something to stick to in order to show pigment. So if you build too much, sometimes your outer corner will get patchy, but because this is a cream, it doesn't do that. It just sticks on top of whatever. I love that shade. Yeah, it's great. Mattes in Natasha Denona's palettes always look lighter than they are. They always apply a lot really well. Deeper. I will insert, I took a couple like random swatch pictures to show somebody online what the palette looked like. A lot of people were complaining and saying the shimmers were too similar. I personally disagree. I think the pinky red ones, I think these two are the ones, one here and the red one here, are the ones that look a little bit more similar on the eyes, but they have a completely different like reflect to them. An undertone and texture, they're all different. And you can't tell as much in pictures and videos as you can in real life, but to me, none of the golds are similar enough for me to say, oh, like I'm very disappointed in the lack of this color of shimmer. It's a bronze palette. It's meant to be bronze. I think they look completely different on the eyes. I used multiple of the shimmers. I'm wearing it today. And I think I've used it one other time than that, but every time I've used a shimmer, I can see a very clear difference in undertone, because some of them are more yellow gold and some of them are more bronze and some of them are more red. I don't think they're too similar. I know that's a critique people have. I disagree entirely. Yeah, at least on our skin tone, it looks very different. But yeah, I'd say that's all about the review. We are Natasha stans, just so you know we're biased. And I think that if you have, you know, some of her other palettes like Metropolis and the gold palette, you may not need this. We didn't need it. Did we need it? No. Do I regret it? No. I had a gift card too, so you can shove it. Yeah, so it was cheap. Got it for like $8. But I think that this is a good addition if you want a more warm toned palette and you don't have one. This is in the $65 price range, so it works out just fine. But I adore this palette, and I also love the packaging of it, that like gold bronze loveliness. But yeah, I guess that's all for our review. If you enjoyed, go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. Comment down below if you picked it up, if you think it's stupid and ugly, if you think that you want it. Let us know. I think that you should want it. That's my personal opinion. But anyway, that's all for today. We hope to see you in the next video. Bye!